Hello, my name's Tom Carhill. It's 16:14 on Tuesday the 21st of the 3rd, 2017. I'm just looking something up here. I was trying to find links between the Jewish pedo mafia and Stephen Fry. Now, I assume they exist. I strongly suspect they exist. And, to be fair to him, let's be fair, he is a Jew and he is on the telly, so it'd be difficult for him not to have any links. So we have to bear that in mind, Even if he's not actually suspect himself, it is very difficult to get on the telly and be a Jew and not be involved with something dodgy, isn't it? Because this is one of the places they're very highly represented in. However, I was looking focusing on Australia, because what I found in the past, and other people will find this, is some people are very clever at keeping their associations, their kind of local, or if you like domestic associations, hidden, yeah? But when they go abroad, they think nobody knows, and so they let their guard down a little bit, and sometimes you find more interesting stuff. Now, he has been to the Sydney Mardi Gras, right? Now, that is absolutely packed full of paedophiles, right? So he has been to that, but then again, most of the people who go to the Sydney Gay Mardi Gras aren't even gay. They're just going there just to, get drunk and take drugs and wander about the place, So that's not suspicious. And if he is a homosexual, then, it's not surprising he might go over there, just think it'd be an excuse for a holiday in Australia. Completely logical. But then I started seeing, I was exploring this gay Mardi Gras link, right? And then I was finding there was a few things about sort of homosexual artwork, photos of like basically men with their tops off sort of thing. It was just, anyway, and it was mentioning Sydney Mardi Gras and Stephen Fry, and it had this erotic, they were calling it erotic photos. They weren't sort of like depraved, normal sort of like the depraved, degenerate stuff. It was just quite a tame, just like underwear model sort of thing. But anyway, this guy came up. This guy is called an ex-gay therapist, and his name is Dr. Joseph Nicolosi, right? And this Nicolosi chap got interviewed by Fry recently, and it's really quite interesting, right? Because Fry gets very, very angry with him. You can tell he's good at hiding it, but you can tell he's very angry with this guy, because this guy very clearly doesn't get wound up by him. And the point is, and this is not me bragging, someone like Fry, if I had a conversation with him, I could absolutely crush him. You could completely destroy him, because he's not very clever. People think he's very clever because when he's on the TV, he gets a completely captive audience, and he gets to choose who he speaks to and who he doesn't speak to, yeah? So, nothing on TV isn't staged. So he always is going to come across as clever because he's got a load of these fawning, sycophantic freaks about him. He's not fast-witted, if he doesn't. He's sometimes quite funny. Sometimes he's. I'm not. Character assassinating him here. But this is the thing. He got very annoyed with this guy, and this is just a bizarre thing. Right, I walked downstairs halfway through this interview, and then it's a 10-minute interview, right? And then I came back up again. But when I was downstairs, I think I was getting a drink or something. I was thinking, I wonder if they'll try and kill that guy. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought that. And I thought he looks too young. He can't, they couldn't kill him. He's too young. Now, then, I finished watching the video. I don't know why I would think they would want to kill him, but it just came into my head. Thought, turns out he died at 70. So he has died. And it must be pretty current, probably quite recently, yeah? But you see, this is a really weird thing. All of the stuff that's about him, like if you look down down the Google, I actually started making this video before, and then I sort of was rambling on a bit too much, and so I've changed it. Yeah, but the thing is, there's a lot of unusual and unpleasant language used. Like, see here, lets ex-gay therapist hang himself in interview. Right now, he didn't hang himself. Didn't hang himself at all. I would recommend you have a look at this video. It's quite good. Give me a second here, right? But the point is, at 4 minutes, there's a good bit. Because this Fry goes, he gets off. This is the bit where he starts to get angry. But right at the start, listen to this.
Perversely, the philosophy that underpins this.
Perversely. So he starts a kind of impartial type. It's basically a hit piece, but the thing with Stephen Fry is he would never admit it was a hit piece. And he starts it off with the word perversely, right? He is the pervert. He has got the mental illness, and then he starts off. You see what I mean? It's. I don't know whether this is just clever editing or something, but you see, he'll be. I'm sure he'll be aware of this. Every single thing right now. So he gets 4 minutes. Let me see here. Look, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Play.
Nurture.
That's right.
Right.
We believe it's based on trauma.
You're really going to have to look hard to find a trauma. It's an accusation of some sort of parental going wrong.
Yeah, but do you see when he said trauma then, right? Think how fast Fry jumped in. Fry doesn't normally jump in, right? Because when he's on the telly, everything's scripted. It really is. It's not actually improvised with him. I don't think it is that often. Because he always just like has got people almost waiting for him to say something. They stop. It's almost like every show he's on is like his show, and they're just saying a little bit and looking at him through the side of their eye to know when to stop talking. But yeah, he gets annoyed.
That's what we believe. We believe it's about the parents. The boy does not.
See that? Wow. That's something that posh cunts from England, when they're being a cunt, they do that. They're like, remarkable or something, or wow. It's like, oh, yeah. He's being a cunt, right? That's what he's doing.
Disidentified with the mother and does not bond with the father. We don't believe he was born gay.
If tomorrow a gay gene is discovered, you're going to feel a bit silly, aren't you?
No, I won't feel silly at all, because there we'll still have to explain all the homosexuals that were successfully treated.
So that was Stephen Fry hanging himself.
You say that you have a kind of percentage that you can demonstrate of this.
He says it's 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. But anyway, look here, right now. I can't. The little video preview thing's not coming up. Here, look, right. Look what he says now. This is important.
And that's become known in the last 20 years or so as metrosexual. And without being the least bit of offensive, I would say you fit that rather well. You're very well groomed. You could easily pass as a gay man. I could say.
Right. So he's trying to make that out to be funny, but the other guy didn't appear to be amused. But then again, they could have edited that. That could have been him, like being filmed from another time, because you notice he didn't say anything. But yeah, the point is with this guy, right? Every single thing that's commented about him, like say like on Twitter, right? Sorry, this is it. Nicolosi Fry Twitter, right? Look here, look, right? Take Stephen Fry's name out. Twitter, right? Right. Twitter reacts to the death of Joseph Nicolosi. Conversion therapy. Right? Twitter was not upset about the passing, of Joseph, blah blah blah. Right? Negative, right? And also very inappropriate, I think. Yeah, because he's a doctor. He's trying to help people. He seems like he's a genuine guy, and they're absolutely, like he's dead, and they're there slagging him off. But he's not actually tried to hurt anybody, has he? Right? But why do these gays? Why do they always sort of turn into a kind of why do they have this hateful angle? It doesn't make any sense. And I think I know why it is. And I think it's exactly like the reason that a lot of Jews are like it, right? I think it's because they've been sexually tortured when they're children, haven't they? In this circumcision ritual. And I'm pretty sure that sticks this hatefulness in them that like a lot of Jews have, Obviously it's not across the board, but it seems to be something they have that other people don't have. Right now, earlier on today, it occurred to me that when you have these big Mason type psyops, like Madeleine McCann, the whole thing's completely made up, like probably nuclear weapons. They're probably completely made up, right? But you sort of think, well, how can they keep it secret? Now, I know a lot of people say that, someone would talk, and I always used to say, well, they're being the Masons, and they're compartmentalised, so they can't talk because they'll lose their job. But now I think possibly there's a little bit more investigation comes in there. And what just popped into my head was, as a result of one of my commenters on my YouTube channel, right, I'll show you here, right, who was it? Let me see. Right, this woman made this comment, right? Yeah, Chloe, Chloe Laws with an E, Lawes. Yeah, she just says I don't get a good feeling about them. But it could be warped by other things that people have said about them. And it just occurred to me, I thought, I've been slightly missing a trick here. Which is good, because of course, I'm trying to get to the bottom of something, so obviously I haven't got the whole picture, so identifying a trick I'm missing is a very positive thing. I was just thinking that a lot of these people involved with these big hoaxes and stuff like that, I don't think just being a run-of-the-mill Mason and telling them, look, don't talk about it, that doesn't really cut it, does it? Because all of those people they're speaking, could they really keep that kind of secret? I mean, and the other thing is, often a secret doesn't so much get broken as it comes out through just, physics. So something physical will happen and it will become obvious that it was a secret. But then normally people will say, oh, well, yeah, we were just keeping that secret, we weren't going to tell anyone, but that's what happened. Or they'll come clean and say, yeah, we were doing something dodgy there. It normally will come out. Not normally, but at some time one would come out, right? But they never do. So even when one of these hoaxes is pretty much proven to be a hoax, nobody nobody says, yeah, it's all a hoax, don't worry about it. So is that because they do something to these kids when they're younger, i.e. bite the end of their dick off or something? Does that change something in their mind, or is it sodomising them, Is that what it is? Are they doing something to these people which allows them to be able to just take that part of their head out, their mind out, and not have any fear of accessing it? Because to me, it would seem that must be what it's doing. I'm sure it must be, So I think it must be there's a satanic link there, yeah. And I think it's linked. It's definitely linked. And when you go back to the Madeleine McCann issue, right? All the people involved with that hoax, right, are obviously very, very unlike normal people, right? For a start off, if you put some kind of, madcap idea that you're going to mislead the public so badly, very similar in a lot of ways to if you said to them, look, we've killed the kid, we've got to cover it up, or we've sexually abused the kid, she's blabbing about it, we're going to have to kill her. All of those type of stories that, have obviously been fanned around. The idea that you'd actually ask somebody to help you cover something up and they do it's very low. The idea that they would all do it is statistically impossible. But similarly, even though it's more likely, you'd be more likely to go along with just some complete scam where no one died. Think about this, right? What is the chance of all of them going along with it? And also, if you ask anybody to do that and they don't do it, what are you going to have to do to them? On such a major hoax? Or do you sort of let them in gradually? It's like, we've got this bit of work we'd like you to do. They just layer it on. Now, I'm sure they do some kind of psychological tests. But for me, it still doesn't cut it. Because, you see, the thing is that if you tell a great big humongous lie to the public, yeah, your life, if you like, if that comes out, is pretty much destroyed. It would be like that woman Misha de Fonseca, the Jewish woman who was going on about living with wolves and stuff during the Holocaust. Absolute crazy Jewish liar woman. Very, very funny. She's very amusing. But yes, she had a best-selling book and then she eventually said it hadn't happened. But you see, this is the kind of thing. But anyway, look, this is the point. There is something going on there, and I think that these Satanists abuse the kids, and it does things to kids' minds. Right now, we've all heard about this compartmentalisation and, kind of mind control where people have altars. Altars isn't like altar at a church or a synagogue. It's like the altar. I don't even know. Do they even have synagogue? I don't even know they have them. But yeah, but the point is, what this is they're doing stuff to these kids. They're making them have this compartmentalisation thing, and it strikes me that it must be this. This is also linked to how they can keep these big secrets. That's what it is. So when this is getting back to the point on the video that lady made. Yeah, there is something very nasty about the McCanns and very, very unsavoury and unwholesome. They come across as very evil. But that's probably because they are very evil, because they're probably Satanists. Otherwise, there's no way they would be demented enough to go along with this story and all this stuff. Oh, they've got their mortgage paid off, so they don't mind. That's bollocks. No one would go along with such a big lie because it's going to completely cut them off. Every person who knows them, it will be like the same kind of thing. They will be more hated when it breaks, and I do intend for people to figure this one out. They will be completely hated. But anyway, getting back to the initial matter at hand, right? Every single thing these people say about this Nicolosi is negative, right? So this first thing here is saying, what Twitter was not upset that he's passing. Why would they be? It's just unpleasant, right? The next thing, there's this guy, Dr. Joseph Nicolosi, father of anti-LGBT, right? Even the wording of that. Right? They're trying to be negative, right? Anti-LGBT. Now, you've got to remember that his client base would be LGBT, wouldn't they? Because otherwise they wouldn't go for this conversion therapy. So they're actually saying he's anti it, like against it. Do you see what I mean? I know in the context it could be seen. But you see, if you look here, this person, I don't know if it's a man or a woman. It just looks like a pedo staring at me there. It really doesn't look like it looks like a fucking deranged pervert is what this picture of this Sam Ames looks like. But here it's all saying that, yeah, he died in the way he lived in pain. It's a pain many of us know all too. They're trying to make out as though him dying is good and he deserved it and he's evil. Now, he's a doctor. Like I said, he's trying to help people, I think. Yeah, every single thing they say about him is very hateful and negative. Now, this is the thing I'm trying to tie together here. Is it that Jews and homosexuals, because of the sexual torture they get when they're in childhood, is that why they've got this sort of unusual thing where they actually... Well, for a start, I don't think most people actually hate anyone. They might be very angry with people. They might, they might even want to kill somebody. But normally, that would be because there's some good reason to do it. It's not an irrational thing, but it seems that Jews and homosexuals have this tendency to be very, very hateful. And I think it's not a normal human thing. I think it's something that's been done to them. It's the satanic link. I think it's a torture-based thing when they're kids. Either the sodomy or biting the end of their dicks off. But then again, of course, you've got female Jews as well, haven't you? So if you're a female Jew, I don't know how it happens, but you see, this is the thing. This is why it can't just be the circumcision. It's got to be other things they're doing. And yeah, I think there's a something here that's going to get uncovered. And when it gets uncovered, I think it will be, very significant. The pieces are all coming together. But anyway, as I said, look, so the first one, negative. The second one, not so negative, but then it's written by this... If you read the actual attachment, it is very, very negative. You've got the third one. You've got the word nasty in the title, but I've looked that up, and it took me about 5 minutes because it was a big load of comments. All of them negative. I couldn't find nasty. Maybe it's because I'm talking, I'm looking at the same time. But look here, right? But has he really tried not being dead, right? Joseph Nicolosi, the father of gay conversion therapy, has died. In his honour, take a moment today to feel bad about who you really are. Right, so that's negative, isn't it? Yeah. and in complete denial. They're trying to make out being a homo's normal. Do not celebrate his death, but rather mourn his life. Negative, right? What a cop-out. Dying is obviously a choice. Right, now, that's quite funny, I think, but, you know, what a stupid name for a kid, but he's negative, yeah? What a stupid name for a kid. Gay conversion therapy. Gay must have hated his dad. Right? I hear they have, I'm not really sure if that's, I mean, it's kind of a quip, but I can't really get my head around what that actually means, you know, whether it's negative or not. I hear they have dead conversion therapy now, right? Yeah. Let's shock him and see if he'll give up that mortality stuff, yeah? Too late for me. I was in elementary school when I realised my parents were wrong in the criticism of me, so anyone could. What? Doesn't even make any sense. Don't worry about it, everyone. I've taken enough of those moments to cover you all. I don't even know what that means. I hope someone converts his grave to a dance hall. This is it's very hateful, isn't it? It is actually hateful, and it's very disrespectful. He's got family and stuff, right? And they'll read this. I wonder if he's considered trying not being dead. Somebody's already said that. He can finally come out of the closet now. In his honour, I took a shit instead. Now, just something to hold one of the thoughts here, right? See, I don't know where the word nasty come up, but anyway, it didn't appear to be there. Notice they constantly talk about shit. Why? This is This is a not unusual thing you notice when you look at anything related to homosexuals and Jews, right? And paedophiles. You notice them going on about shit a lot. They really, really like to constantly say it. It's something they sort of get, I don't mean they get some kind of excitement about saying it. They definitely do. And in my studies of the Jewish pedo mafia, if they're not talking about bits of male anatomy in quite unusual detail, or anything to do with fecal matter, or going for a shit, or something like that, they're always on about it. Always. It's not unusual for them to do it, whereas it's quite unusual for a normal person to do it. They might say the word shit, but they're not sort of going into too much detail. It's just a word you use that saves time, you know? Right, okay, so that's him. Found dead. Right, sorry, here, let me go on though. Dr. Joseph Nicolosi is a real piece of shit, right? What kind of fucking thing is that to state, right? This woman here, right, she was one who got me sidetracked before. Dr. Joseph Nicolosi is a real piece of shit. Preaches that all LGBTs can be cured. What planet does he live on? Right, and this is why I got sidetracked. I said, Jack the Bomb. He's in heaven now. No public toilets to rape children in there. Not for you or your friends. Pedo logic was a hashtag, right? So, I don't know, I just didn't like the way this fucking freak was talking about that guy. Just totally inappropriate, I felt. Got me a bit sidetracked. Looking those photos up took me a little bit of time, you know, because they were on my computer, and I've mentioned them a few times before. What they are is these signs in the toilets going for the homophobic report line when somebody reports paedophile activity. It's to do with the Beat Project and stuff like in Australia. So if you see someone raping a kid, or it appears they're having some kind of liaison with an underage kid, they'll get the anti-homophobic pedo squad down, and then you'll be like taken in for what do you call it? Re-education sort of thing, or charged or something. That's what they're gearing up for. So anyway, yeah, so you got 4 things all above his actual website here, and every single one of them is negative, yeah? He's ex-gay counsellors on death of Joseph Nicolosi. Future conversion. Right, let me see. I wonder if that's Christian, so that would probably be positive. Right. Right, now we got back to metro.co.uk. Yeah. They're not being negative, but they're saying that people reacted to his death with sarcasm. And they've even got like gay cure in inverted commas, like it can't be done. Oh, Stephen Fry shuts down ex-gay therapist. Oh, he shuts him down like he's a fucking Department of Health or something, like a health inspector. He can't shut people down. He didn't shut him down. It's just totally biased. It has no bearing on reality. Do you see what I mean? It's almost like a hoax news story. It's so bad. It's just, if you watch that video, right, you'll see he's just talking to him. He doesn't shut him down. He doesn't hang him. He doesn't, give him enough rope to hang himself. Oh look, homosexual was left without words after this gentle interview with Stephen Fry. What? No, he didn't. He stopped asking him questions, and then he said, "You could be a gay," and he just looked at him like, right. What else is he going to do? There's something very sus here anyway. Like I said, there's something going on here. That if that guy was 70, right, he looks a young 70. I can't believe that guy's just died. Something funny's going on there. I don't know what it is, but it just does not make any sense that he'd be dead. It doesn't. People who live in nice hot, I think he's in California or somewhere like that, isn't he? Or LA, is that California? I don't know. People who live in places like that, in the nice hot weather, they got a bit of money. They don't go around popping their clogs at 70. He could have done. He could have done. But there's something very weird. And another thing I've found in the past is often you see the fact that when he's dead, they've seen the need to sort of stick the boot in, sort of thing. There's something also that has Jewish pedo mafia fingerprints all over it. Because what it is like a normal person will go, well, they're dead now, that's the end of it. They might go, I'm glad they're dead. They don't literally spend their time trying to stick the boot into a dead person because the person's dead. Yeah, that's how that's how it works. Again, there's a link here because this thing about these gays, I think it's a lot of them get raped into it, don't they? Right? I think they have got this hatefulness. It's linked to that. I don't think all gays are really hateful. They're not, but. And not all Jews are, but it's a tendency they have, yeah. But then again, that could be linked to the amount of abuse they've had as part of their kind of, their upbringing, And there is something very odd going on here. And I think, I don't really know. I don't really know what it is, but I think we'll find something if we keep looking into it. I also believe that, like with Stephen Fry being a big homosexual advocate and celebrity, if they decided they were going to bump him off, this guy, they might have sent him down there as a kind of a sign. Do you see what I mean? To just like, well, I don't know, it's kind of like, it's very insulting, because what they've done is they've sent him down there, then they've got like universal lies about this interview, saying that somehow Stephen Fry, left him speechless, which absolutely didn't happen. And then the next thing, he's dead, and they're lying about him, repeatedly lying about him on the internet when he's dead. It could be that there's more to this gay therapist, this ex-gay therapist stuff, and I'm not talking about whether it works or not. Maybe he's finding some interesting patterns, and as he's making progress, let's say if someone says to the therapist, right, you seem quite switched on, they're more likely to tell the person about things that are kind of what would be considered out of the parameters of things you could normally discuss, that you could blame for this type of stuff. And the guy's like obviously a bit of an entrepreneur, so let's say he was using regression therapy as well on the side, and not, I don't know if he does that, maybe it's something that's mentioned on his site, and maybe he was finding out things about this homosexual stuff which people don't generally like, maybe he was finding stuff out outside of the parameters of the established, completely fucking sham medical industry, and he was finding interesting things that are, kind of not in their like allowable list of, methods and stuff like that. It could be something like that. I don't know, but there's something here. I'm sure there's something here. Anyway, my name's Tom Carhill. It's 16:44 on Tuesday, the 21st of the 3rd, 2017. Thank you for watching.